Hey everybody, it's Woodrow. Hope you're doing well today. Well, you're going to come on a journey with me. We're going to go on a journey together, me and you, because you're looking at the 419th previews catalog. And I have been getting previews, I don't know when it started. Well, I've been getting it almost the entire time it's existed. And I love the previews catalog. I've always compared it to like the Sears Wish Book of comics, and that's an old head reference for some of you who are like, I don't know what you're talking about. When we were kids, before the internet, and before, yes, my childhood, we didn't have the internet. I know that's shocking. Um, and you were a kid, like you would only know about new toys when you'd go to the toy store. And then Christmas would come, and most parents would be like, not taking you to the store because it was Christmas time. And you would get a catalog from Sears, who was a major retailer back then, like a Macy's type of a store. They would mail these catalogs this thick, like this thick. They would actually mail this to like every home in America, believe it or not. Or you could go pick them up. At some point, I think they stopped mailing it and pick it up. But either way, every home in America had like this catalog. It was like a phone book. And it literally had like everything they sold at Sears. Clothes, furniture, grills, power tools, makeup, cologne, and one of the big sections was toys, and it called it the Sears Wish Book. And the whole point was that your family was supposed to go through it and get ideas for what they wanted for Christmas. And it was for everybody. Your mom, your dad, your siblings, whatever age they were, there was stuff in there for everybody. So you'd go through it. It was like this. And what was neat about it, because again, this is pre-internet, is a lot of the stuff in there was the first time you were seeing it. So it wasn't just like stuff you already knew about. It was the new stuff. It was new clothes, new colognes, and most importantly, new toys. So every year, you'd get the Sears Wish Book and you'd go to the toy section and you'd see all kinds of new toys, new Transformers, new G.I. Joe, new Legos, new He-Man, whatever. And you just go batshit crazy because of the thinking of like, oh my God, I can't believe these toys are coming and I hope I get some for Christmas. Anyway, that's really the feeling I've gotten from previews for a lot of the time it's been out. It's the chance to open it up and see the new comics that are coming and get excited for them. Now, over the last few years, as we know, it's changed, right? The first big change was Marvel decided to break out into its own catalog. And that was still fine because you would get this big catalog and then inside would be a little catalog stuffed in it, and it would be the Marvel catalog. It's still basically the same. Just a little bit of an ego trip by Marvel. And then you had DC leave Diamond and move to our friends at Lunar. And so you got a different catalog entirely called DC Connect, and there was no mention of DC in previews anymore. Now that was pretty weird. Wasn't really a fan of that, but you still ended up getting like all three catalogs. And for the most of the time that I've been doing these videos each month for you all, we've been in that environment where we've had three catalogs. So you go through them all. Well, now we're in an entirely different era because now we not only have DC and Marvel doing their own thing, but Image has left Diamond, and Image is now on its own. Now, they announced that a few months ago, but last month, even though they had left Diamond, we still got Image Solicit, so I guess it was a bit of a lag. But as I understand it, and I haven't opened this up yet, but from friends, this is their first catalog where we don't have Image in there. So we no longer have Marvel, DC, or Image in the previews, and yet it's still super thick. So, and on top of that, I should mention that these aren't the only changes. We also have IDW basically effectively ceasing to be a major publisher. We have Dark Horse massively ratcheting back their Solicit catalog. So the five publishers that used to be at the front of previews, like the premier publishers, are all gone. So, change can be good or bad. It's just different. And I'm not saying there isn't still lots of stuff in here to talk about. That's why we're going to talk about it. But I will say that it is very different, and it's going to feel different. And I don't know that I'll ever be used to Image not being in here, because for me, Image was the main draw. I mean, 40 to 50% of the things I buy each month out of the main catalog are Image generally. So it's going to be weird, and I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do a video for you guys of the Image stuff. I think there is a online only Solicit site that I've yet to access that I have to see if I can find and access, and if I can, I'll try and do a little video of it, but no guarantees. We'll table that discussion for later, but for now, let's jump into the main book and just have some fun with the different world we're living in. So yeah, the new top publisher, or the first publisher you see, is Boom. And they seem to be just killing it with this Power Ranger stuff, but it just doesn't interest me at all. So not my big deal, but hope y'all are enjoying it. Here we've got a book that I might not have paid much attention to based on just like opening up the catalog and seeing the names and the creators, but to their credit, the elevator pitch gave it a second look. And the elevator pitch is: in the tradition of 100 Bullets and Criminal, noir writer Ollie Masters and artist Pierluigi Minotti unleash dirty deeds in a town on fire. Okay, 100 Bullets is full stop one of my favorite series of all time. And Criminal, full stop, is one of the best series of all time. So you're going to compare yourself to those two. You're setting a high bar, but you also get me intrigued. And so I'm going to give this a try. And I hope the solicit is a fair assessment of the quality of the book. Like I said, not into the Power Rangers myself, but they seem to be doing gangbusters with it because there's a ton of Power Rangers books every month. Got a new Abbott book, 1979. We've got a Berserker pen and ink. I am reading Something is Killing the Children. I continue to read it, continue to enjoy it. So that's a yes. Same with House of Slaughter. And Rare Flavors, we talked about last month on the first issue, but the follow-up between Ram V and Felipe Andrade from the Many Deaths of Layla Starr. Follow-up in that it's their next project, not follow-up like it's a sequel to that book, just for those that are... I don't want to confuse people. We've got some collections of books that they're wrapping up. We've got the second issue of Coda Volume 2. Super excited for that. Once Upon a Time at the End of the World, number 10 of 15. This is the end of the second of the 3 arcs. It's great seeing Jason Aaron hitting home runs again. Okay, lots of stuff. And again, a lot of stuff I'm skipping over is good. I just am not reading it or have it in collections in other ways. Okay, so we're in a world now where Dynamite is the second publisher being shown. So go figure. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly because we've got Garbage Pail Kids, Alice Cooper, just, yeah. Gargoyles, more power to you. I'm into the Negaduck. Talked about the first issue solicit last month, so that could be cool, I hope. But the Duck books, Darkwing and Neg, are the only things I'm reading from Dynamite. So I'm just going to try and jump so I don't waste too much of your time just turning pages. Bill Willingham's doing a Fire and Ice book right now. I don't know how it's going to be. I'm not going to read it. I'm like, the creators involved had me take an extra peek at it, but I'm still not. It's just a no. So yeah, lots and lots of Dynamite. More power to them. I hope some of you love it. Then we've got Aftershock. Aftershock is all the way up to the 3rd publisher in the catalog. So my, how things have changed. Jimmy's Little Bastards, the first volume. Jimmy's Bastards was a ton of fun. I'm a big fan of Russ Braun as a human being and an artist. So looking forward to reading this. I have the issues. I just haven't sat down to read them yet. They're doing some horror book resolicits because these are for books coming out. This catalog is for books coming out in October for the most part. My dogs are barking at something. Reign of Titan. Don't know that I haven't. So Vince and David talked about the first issue of Conan the Barbarian by Jim Sub and Roberto Della Terra. They were very much excited by it. I haven't read it yet. I do have it. I just haven't had a chance to read it yet. Titans really increased their catalog, it seems like. And they're running the gamut from manga to European import to licensed stuff. Ablaze is number 4. This book, Prism, looks pretty neat. Matteo De Longis is the writer and artist. It's a sci-fi fantasy book. I'm going to give the first issue a try. There's an interview here and some preview art, so it all kind of sold me on it. So you can check that out online if you don't get the physical catalog, but it looks good. I'm going to give it a try. Got Frank Miller books. You've got Opus. You've got Massive. I mean, again, these publishers mean almost nothing to me. It's very weird to see them at the front like they're supposed to be important solicits. So, yeah. The previous catalog is not what it used to be, friends. They're doing a job here, reminding us that it is October when you are getting these books, and they're calling out some of the better horror books that are out there. So I'm here for that. I'm looking here. I have most of these. I've read most of them, so I agree with a lot of their picks. Dark Horse, we've got Black Hammer, The End. It's a must-read. We've got the new Scott Snyder written, Dan Panosian drawn book, Canary. That is an absolute must. Love Panosian's art. Been excited for that book since Panosian started showing preview art in his social media feeds. So that's an absolute yes. We've got some resolicits of things like the Baltimore. I'm a big fan of Baltimore, so if you don't have it in other forms, that might be worth your attention. Here's the IDW section. Just giving a quick glance here. Don't think there's anything. Bunch of Godzilla books. It's interesting that DC's got a Godzilla book on its cover this month as well, so lots of Godzilla coming at you this month. I really wish IDW could figure out how to get their cover art solicited again. It's super awkward to not have it on there, but what you gonna do? Lots and lots of Turtles books. Got a Parker Girls Omnibus coming. That's great news. We've also got, for those of you doing the trade, they've got the second trade, so I'm buying it in issues, but I also will get the omnibus for sure, because I have all of the Terry Moore stuff in Omniboo. At least, I mean, I should say, all of the Omniboo he has put out I have. Let me say it that way. American Mythology. This is certainly a book that has been hyped for a long time and discussed. That is The Mysteries. It is a book written by Bill Watterson and art by Bill Watterson, yes, of Calvin and Hobbes fame. The art looks nothing like Calvin and Hobbes, just for those of you that it looks nothing like Calvin and Hobbes. I'm absolutely overjoyed that he's putting out something new. Can't wait to read it, but this is not going to be like Calvin and Hobbes Redux, so just know that going in, but still get it because it's freaking Bill Watterson creating a new book. Can't wait. Probably going to be the book of the month. Might be the book of the year, who knows? It may be on the O'Claskers, you never know. But I would say he has a fair shot, given that it's the man, the myth, the legend giving us new comics. Avatar doing their, I'm going to continue to get rid of inventory for a decade until I'm finally empty. I can't imagine how much stuff they must have I don't know where they were storing all that stuff, but man, they must have printed a bunch of those books and just kept them in storage all these years. AWA. Don't think I'm reading anything from them right now. Black Mask. I believe, yeah, we've got Faust, a Faust collection. That's going to be cool. I don't know that I've ever read Faust. Heard a lot about it. I know it's very naughty. I believe this was a very successful Kickstarter that's finally coming to print. And I've always been curious. So this is a 500-page hardcover of the naughty, naughty stuff drawn by Tim Vigil. So I will be adding that to my collection. Okay, let's see what's doing here. Clover Press has been doing some pretty neat stuff. This is, to be fair, just to be clear, this is not a manga. This is actual novel that they just translated in English. So Don't fall for that if you just think it's a comic. I'm sure most of you wouldn't because you're going to read the solicit, but just FYI. Got some different Marvel art books, which could be cool. Drawn and Quarterly. We have another Suge book. They've been really putting out most of his catalog of late. This is Nejishiki. I've been enjoying all of them, so no reason to stop ordering them now. And then we've got a bunch of resolicits because it's horror month. You've got Abominable Mr. Seabrook. You've got Beautiful Darkness, Acting Class, Kitaro, all very, very good. If I had to prioritize, I would tell you to try the Beautiful Darkness by Fabian Vellman and Kara Scott, and Acting Class, written and drawn by Nick Dornasso. Those two are fantastic books, and shout out to a reprint of, or a resolicit of The Death Ray as well. All that great stuff, but I already have it also. Sabrina, same thing. Wilson, same thing. So great. They're resoliciting a bunch of great stuff this month, but there's not really a bunch of new stuff, unfortunately. So, Distillery, that's the big new one. That's the guys that used to run IDW, and then they went to Comixology, and now they're back doing their own a new thing called Distillery. This is the first of their big books. It's called Gone #1. It's written and drawn by Jacques. No idea if Jacques is a good writer. It's an $8.99 book. It's a 48-page perfect bound book. But I'm certainly intrigued by the buzz, and will at least give this first issue a try. Lots of preview images, which is cool. Fair Square, another publisher that I'm like, huh? Who are you? Fanta. God bless Fanta. What would I do without Fanta these days? I've got a new Dan Clowes book, Monica. Definitely another book that will probably be considered for best of the year in a lot of the more indie literary side of the voting block. I'm certainly interested to see what comes of it. And we've got some resolicits of some Pisker stuff. Your obligatory Disney resolicits. Got a new MS Harkness book, Time Under Tension. I'm all over that for sure. Smoke and Kills looks great by I don't know if I'm saying that right. I don't know if I'm saying their name right, but it's Thies Desmet. So I'm here for all of those books. Can't wait. Fanta's going to help carry the baton for me this month. Humanoids. Got another they've been doing a lot of these I keep saying auto. They're doing a lot of these bio comics. I've been into a lot of them. I can't say I'm into this one so much. Beloved Cambodian singer Ross Suri Sothia. Don't know much about her. I guess that's the point, but that's a no for me. The Cat from the Komodo by Nancy Pena. It's an adult fairy tale. The art looks great. I'm gonna give this one a try. You got Sherlock Holmes. It looks fun, really fun. Really neat to see Carthago back. I think it was Hassan sent me the Carthago books. Somebody did. If it wasn't Hassan, I apologize, whoever it was. But somebody sent me the Carthago books years ago, and I loved them. And I had no idea we were getting more, but I'm definitely getting this for sure. I've loved them all. I'm a mark for anything shark related, and Carthago certainly fits that bill. So Humanoids doing yeoman's work this month. Respect. Mad Cave. I like the way they do their solicits. I'll give them credit. Can't say I've read much of their stuff yet, but I do like the way that they build a solicit page. I think it's nice and clean. Gives you all the information. Like it a lot. These books were Kickstarters that I backed, so I'm not going to be pre-ordering them, but I am getting them. These are by Magnetic. They are Bram Stoker Dracula and Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. New collections. of the George Best classic works. So they're repackaging them in a sort of a premium bookshelf format. Can't wait. They're going to be awesome. And you can be sure we'll be talking about those on the show. Absolutely. Oni, we've got a new Shaky Kane book, and that's always something to celebrate. The Man from Maybe. Behold the first postmodern, post-apocalyptic action epic from Jordan Thomas and Shaky Kane. You had me at Shaky Kane. I will buy anything that the man draws, and I can't think of a time I've ever been disappointed in that decision. Got the second issue of 3 of Dwellings. The first issue hit the stands this week. This is a graphic novel that's set in the late 70s time of satanic panic. It's actually set in the Jersey suburbs. I was very much alive in New Jersey during this time when everybody thought their kids were going to turn into Satan worshipers because of the things we read and the music we listened to. It was a time. And so I'm all over that book for sure. I think we're nearing the end here. We're in the S's. Yeah, Silver Sprocket sometimes has some good stuff, but doesn't look like anything this month in particular. Got your Valiant, and then you got your Vault. Definitely playing up the horror this month at Vault. Barbaric Volume 3, always that's good stuff. Definitely recommend that. They got a lot of their collected editions being solicited or resolicited, as the case may be, this month. And I think pretty much wrap this up. We're going to be taken to the manga section now. Got a new Junji Ito, always a must. This is Betwixt, horror manga anthology. 1 book, 2 covers. So, oh, see, I almost fell for it. It's not a Junji Ito book. He provides the foreword, but it's story and art by various artists. Interesting. So they're trying to get us to be into this like we are to all the Ito horror anthologies, but I don't know. I may leave this one. And see what y'all think. And if you like it, then I'll get it from somebody. Yeah. Almost fell for it. Oh well. Here is a Junji Ito drawn book that is written by someone else, written by Hirokatsu Kihara and Ichiro Nakayama. Mimi's Tale of Terror. Since he drew it, I probably will get it. And then lots and lots of solicits of other manga, but nothing I think that I'm particularly into. So there you have it. Anywho, interesting times. I don't know if we're going to have image solicits to go over, but if we do, I'll tack them on here on this video. Otherwise, that wraps up the main catalog for the month. I hope there are a few things that I ran through. There's definitely some bangers in there. Definitely Fantagraphics getting it done. Definitely Magnetic getting it done. So yeah, there's some places that are putting out. Humanoids had some pretty awesome things. So yeah, there's some good stuff in there for sure. Yeah, like I said, as always, I'm sure I missed things that I would adore reading, just didn't see them. So if you think there's something I just absolutely totally missed, but I would be stupid to not solicit, let me know. And I will add it to my order most likely. Peace and love.